Hey guys, it's Allison here. Today I'm going to be talking about how to change a tire. Okay, so first thing is first with changing your tires or working on your car in general. You want to be in an outfit that you do not care about. You don't care if it gets dirty, anything like that, because chances are you'll get dirty. I got stuff on my hands from just bringing my tires from my house to here, so yes. Okay, so obviously you need a car, and with that, so I've got this little this thing, I'm not sure what it's called. I will insert a name here, and so this fits on there because it's a specific pattern. So my car stock is 19, and so you'll need whatever size or key that fits on your lug nut. You will also need either this or this setup here. Car's on the ground, check. Next we'll just want to pop this guy right on there. You don't really have to go in any kind of pattern for this part. 19 millimeters is the side that I want here. We are just going to place that guy right on here. And I like doing it where I can push down on the one side, so boop. I tighten these, so I know that they're not supposed to be super tight, and on the BRZs it's a problem where the studs actually like to strip if you make them too tight. All the lug nuts are loose now, so we can go ahead and jack the car up. So for jacking the car up, we want to find a good place underneath the car. We place the jack underneath that metal part so we can see that it is currently under there, so we are all good. If you're like me too, your jack will be ultra low because your car is too low and you can't fit a regular jack underneath. The tires are off of the ground. I'll go ahead and loosen the lug nuts the rest of the way, take the tires off, and place the new ones. How you would rotate them, because you need to rotate them with every oil change, or you should at least. The two tires on the front of the car would go straight back, and then the back two would just crisscross to the front. So hope that makes it easier for you guys. When you're tightening these, this is where it's important to go in a star. That way you don't have any give when you've tightened everything down. No give. Good. So now all of our wheels are on the car. I'll walk you guys around. These are all now like hand tightened from in the air. So now we'll go around the car and we'll tighten everything up. Okay, so for this part, you will obviously need your oil. Don't worry if you don't know your oil kind, you can look it up online. Usually it'll say it right up on here. So oil, I luckily with mine being on top can just clamp my oil filter with this. Okay, so next we are going to need our oil filter here. You'll want a little funnel so when you're dumping it in the top of the car, you don't have any overpour or spillage of any kind. And then a place for your oil to go after you're done with your oil change. I also put this mat down because it helps protect any oil from getting on the pavement. I feel like I should also add that you should get a oil pan that you know all of your oil will fit in. I know bigger SUVs and trucks, they need something bigger than this. I think this is 6 quart and my car holds 5.5. You'll also need your handy dandy sockets again. So you'll need jack stands and of course our jack. And then for this part, since we're going to be underneath the front of the car, you'll want to place the jack somewhere in that area. You want to leave yourself enough room to put the jack underneath the car so that the car is angled more upwards in the front. Okay, so we have the car jacked up now, as you can see. So right in this area, this is where that middle pinch point starts. You want to place the jack stand between that. If you can, jack it up a little bit more so that you're on like a second level. My car, again, is pretty small and you don't really have to get too far underneath, so this should be fine. But we've got one side done, so we'll go to the other side. Now that we have jacked up the other side, you can see that the rear tire is on the ground. The car is pretty high up, enough for me to get under it at least. Oil filter on top, and then we've got the drain plug underneath the car, kind of like back in this area. You'll see it. Okay, so now that we are underneath the car, we can see the drain plug right there. The BRZ needs a 15mm socket, and then we have our oil pan. I guess you would prefer it to be clean. That way you can see if there's anything in your oil. We can loosen this and drain our oil. Before I forget to add this, do not do this right after you've ran your car for a while. I would let it sit for a while and let the oil cool down. That way, whenever you loosen this bolt and get it out, you are not going to be burning yourself because that oil will be hot. Okay, so we've got this loosened now. So the trick is to press down, and you want to have this like out a little bit. So like to the direction that it's pointing, because it will curve at first. Keep the dirty front bumper. Oil still draining. So after this is done draining, you'll want to wash your hands if you got them dirty like me. You'll want to wipe off the oil drain plug, and then you'll want to wipe off the bottom of the oil pan, just because I don't like any smoking or smells when I start the car up, and sometimes you can get that if that excess oil is burning off. Okay, we've got that back on there, so we'll just tighten that down and then go to the top of the car, and you'll want to dump this in your oil disposal, whatever. If you dump it back in with a funnel to the regular oil bottle, or if you have something like I do, the reservoir, and dump it in there, that's great. Just make sure you're not throwing it in the trash. You can drop it off at pretty much any auto store like Napa, O'Reilly's, anything like that, and they'll take it for free usually. So yes, we just don't want to throw that in the trash. Okay, so next we are going to need our oil filter here. So this, of course, is going to take the place of that guy. So you'll want to change this out with your oil every time. So we can go ahead and loosen that. And the way that I do that is I take these little grips here, and I just grip right on the side as hard as I can, and then I'll turn it. I pre-loosened that. That was not already that loose. I didn't want to struggle on camera. We'll just take this guy off, and so sometimes with this you'll have a little bit of oil drip out. New one here. I'll go ahead and pop that guy out. And so what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of oil, and you just want to do a little line around here, and this just kind of gets it to seal a little bit better. Do that. And we'll pop that guy right on there. And we'll tighten that. Okay, so we've got our new oil filter tightened down on there. So all that's left to do is take this little lid off here. Oh yeah, I got it off just with my hand. We'll pop that off and set this someplace where you will not lose it. My place is going to be the grill. Okay, and this next part I'm not going to do on camera because I don't want to spill it. You just dump your oil in. You want to make sure you also have a clean funnel. That way you're not putting anything in there. I just rinsed mine out. And so with this, you'll want to dump as much oil as your car needs. So for my car, it's 5.5 quarts. So got that right down there, and we'll fill this baby up. Okay, and once you've got that all done, you can go ahead and pop your funnel out. Might be a little drippy on the end still. You'll just pop that right back on here. While you're here, you can also check your washer fluid, clutch, brake fluid if you need. So after this, you'll just want to run your car for a few minutes. Make sure there are no oil leaks at the bottom or anything. Make sure nothing's smoking, of course. You might see a little bit at first, and you might smell a little something at first too because of that oil on the bottom, or even sometimes up here if it's up here, if you dripped any. And so yeah, we'll do that and she should be good. Okay, we'll go ahead and start her up. Okay, I've let it run for a few minutes. Nothing's going on underneath the car or above, so we'll go ahead and lower the car back down. Okay, car's back on the ground. Everything runs fine. We just successfully completed our first oil change and hopefully tire rotation. You will. Oh, okay, well, you might not want to do it that fast, but okay. New jack's still breaking it in. So you're here, you can also check your washer fluid, clutch, brake fluid if you need. You can check your coolant temperatures, anything really.